Warning, warning, my friend. I'm sure you have many important tasks in mind, but I feel the need to let you know 2 idiots are reading the SCP files over the intercom.
Hello and welcome back to Discovering SCP. Episode 107.
I'm so scared. Why is he cackling?
It's me,
guys.
Tanhony. Who else would it be? Can't you hear my familiar voice?
I start breathing heavily like Polnareff after Avdol dies.
Why so ambiguous? You know who it is. It's Tanhony, your favourite guy.
You're not Tanhony. Tanhony would have brought SCPs to me. You haven't brought SCPs, have
but
you?
I did.
Oh, then I don't know what this is.
I brought an SCP just for you.
Can I see it?
But of course. Take a look. It's SCP
My knees start to
001.
No, we already read that, idiot.
By Tanhony. Why did I link you the
what?
fucking page that you put them on? Why did I fucking do that?
Hold on, this is new.
I have one of
It's
these...
just one! You made a whole new thing for one fucking link!
I did, so I have that so I can like copy and paste it into the description.
He made a whole page on Google, and it's just one link. It's so stupid.
But okay, okay, that was imposter Tanhony. This is real Tanhony. Yes, we're actually going to read SCP-001. We're going to read my 001 again, but this one we're going to read the first one, non-linear storytelling.
Oh, it looks so long, and I bet there's links.
This guy is so fucking lazy.
Lazy?
He doesn't even read
What did I do for you?
read
What did I
these.
do for you earlier? What did I do for you?
We just sat here for an hour, I want you all to know, watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but what did I do for you before that?
I don't remember.
I bled for you. Oh my god. I read a 22-page chapter and then a 13-page chapter of Aetheral Space for you.
That's like 10 pages altogether, come on.
What? What? Are you serious? You know the Google pages are longer than like a book page, right?
I don't know, that's like 4 pages if you put them all together. But anyway, we're back. Everyone wanted to see this. Everyone's commented saying they want to see Dead Men, and I always follow the whims of the fans. That's why we.
Is that what the 001 is called? Dead Men?
It is, yes.
This is a stupid SCP. I'm downvoting it.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know why he's been so toxic to get it today, everyone.
I'll think about undownvoting it after we read. But for now,
He's actually done it as well. This is
what are you going to do about it?
This guy's fucked.
You better impress me if you want to get that vote changed.
Okay. Well, I'm going to play these fucking games. Okay, let's begin then.
I'm scared. What does he mean by this? What happens when you downvote an SCP author one time? They enter their evil mode.
I'll just begin. Hello. I am Helenstic.aic, a version 2.0 I actually wrote this so long ago, I probably don't even remember some of the things I put in this. A version 2.0 artificially intelligent conscript used by Foundation Overwatch for archival and communications. How can I help you today?
Overwatch, that didn't age well, am I right? Haha, topical.
It's me, Winston.
Wait, what do you mean you wrote this so long ago? This was written in 2018. I thought the way you worded it was like your early SCP.
Fuck off, I didn't write this in 2018.
That's what it says. Scroll down the history. It was in 2018.
Alright, in 2018, what do you know?
It's not that old. It's so funny.
Input. Access level 5 file network. Accessing requested network. Something to note. Network is restricted to O5 Council and researchers working with SCP-001 only. Authentication is required. Failure to authenticate will result in deployment of MTF Alpha 1, red right hand. Do you wish to continue? Input, continue. Does the Black Moon howl? Input.
Is this one before or after the last one?
It's before. It's an entirely different story.
Ah.
Does the Black Moon howl? Input. The Hound of Hell has 3 heads. Oh, override successful, sir. Welcome, it's been quite some time. Input. Access SCP-001 main file. Certainly. Opening requested file.
He's like your fucking personal Ask Jeeves.
Item number. SCP-001. Object Class Formiel. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-001 is to be contained at Site-01. Under no circumstances are other anomalous objects to be contained in Site-1 due to the risk of injury to SCP-001. A cover story regarding the O5 Council not being permitted to come into contact with anomalous items is being disseminated to conceal 001's presence. SCP-001 is to be kept in a standard humanoid containment chamber and guarded by 6 security personnel at all times. It is looked to be accompanied by a medical team at all times in order to quickly correct any health issues that arise. Likewise, a team of neurosurgeons is to be kept on site in order to correct any faults in SCP-001's calibrations. Cognitive agents present within SCP-001's consciousness will be reinforced twice a day. All research personnel directly working with SCP-001 have diverse in thaumaturgy and Erakashi conceptual engineering. To prevent a return to conceptual default in the event of SCP-001's impending death, procedure Flamel-17 is to be executed immediately using D-Class personnel stored at Site-01. All information regarding the now-dissolved GOI 6616, the Eternal Circle, is removed from both public and personal and general Foundation records, and is only available at the Site-1 classified archive.
Ooh, a lot of conceptual engineering going on. We're back on our tan shit.
This is the heart of when I was on my conceptual engineering shit.
I can tell. This is like around the time I would have met you, I think, or a little bit later maybe. So that was when you were like back in the Fate stuff still.
This is the highest point of where it got, I think.
Oh, I'm excited to see where this goes. All right, let's hear it.
Description. SCP-001 is an 84-year-old male who has been conceptually merged with the universal process of death. As such, by using SCP-001 as a catalyst, the process of death can be manipulated to a limited extent. For example, it is believed that removal of SCP-01's tongue and damage to its eardrums inflicted prior to Foundation containment is the reason for the reduced rate of exclusionary deal-with-death events in the modern age. See A.A. Guilford's Vanishing Magic, The Erosion of the Cheated Death in the Thaumaturgical Archives for more information.
Oh, are they implying that people used to be able to do a game against death, but then they removed his tongue? Damn.
Well, not necessarily like... there were deals with death going on, not necessarily like the game, but that would be one form of it.
No, I get what you mean, yeah.
Through a process of neurosurgery and cognitive therapy, SCP-001 has been successfully afflicted with a form of targeted prosopagnosia. Targeted, see Dr. Harold Gradian's The Fluidity Perception, Amnestics in the New Millennium. Specifically, it is incapable of recognizing the faces of any members of the O5 Council. Due to its conceptual status, this incapability on its part becomes an incapability on the part of death by extension. As a result of this, all members of the O5 Council are unable to die or otherwise decay. This death-exempt status is scheduled to be extended to other vital personnel in the future.
Wait, so does it only have prosopagnosia only for the O5 Council, not just in general?
Yeah.
This is kind of fucked. So there's like this, it's like this scary death merged with a dude guy, but they just fucked with his brain and like they cut out his tongue and they've altered him with neurosurgery. It seems kind of fucked up.
Well, let's find out more. It is believed SCP-001 was first corrected by a London-based organisation called the Eternal Circle, using a combination of thaumaturgy and Erakashi conceptual engineering.
What's Erakashi?
So this is a deep fucking lore cut. So it's been mentioned in a lot of the Scarlet King stuff. There's ancient lore and that sort of thing by an ancient civilization called the Erakashi. We don't know that much about them though.
But they made those anchors or whatever.
I believe so. Yes. SCP-001 and records describing its creation of the group were recovered by personnel during a raid on its headquarters. The majority of the group's members were killed during this attack. When the potential uses of 001 were realised shortly after acquisition, it was transferred to its current location at Site-01 and designated a Formiel class anomaly. Judging from SCP-001's physical condition and lack of response to stimuli, it is believed it suffered severe trauma during its time in GOI 6616's custody. Several thaumaturgical circles have been carved into its back as part of the process used to create it, and its limbs have been amputated at some point.
Jesus! This is just fucked up. Why did you write this?
Footnote. Given the principles of Erakashi conceptual engineering, this was presumably to reduce the size of 001 before conceptual fusion.
What the fuck? Dan's into some weird shit, guys.
What the fuck? It's a horror asylum. What are you fucking going on about?
You fucking cut his limbs off, cut his tongue out, operate on his brain.
Maybe his name's Darnell at this rate.
I'm not 84 years old, dummy.
Not yet. Age you up. Despite the severity of these injuries, they are not expected to cause difficulties in maintaining SCP-001 for the foreseeable future. Procedure for Lamel 17. In the event of SCP-001's impending death, the process used to create it is to be replicated using a suitable member of D-Class personnel as a base. For information on the precise physical and genetic attributes required for 001 candidacy, refer to Supplementary Document 001-1. Younger D-Class candidates will be given priority for this process, so as to increase the potential time of use of the new SCP-001.
That's so fucked up. You're just taking their lives away before they get to live them.
Why is Guy getting the most time out of them? What can I say? Making the mother of all omelets.
This is the most fucked up one you've ever written, I think.
Following this procedure's completion, the original SCP-001 will be terminated to facilitate full conceptual transfer. And we have an addendum. Maybe I should pass this over to you.
Sure. From the desk of 05-1. Recently, I have been made aware of concerns regarding the manner in which the Foundation is making use of 001. I'd like to try and ease these concerns. The actions we have taken here are ethically ambiguous. I freely admit that. What we are doing would be, in the eyes of most people, unforgivable. But we are no stranger to unforgivable things. No doubt that many of you working on this project have been forced to take similar actions in the past for the sake of the Foundation. For that, I am eternally grateful. Had the group that created 001 not been stopped, it is likely they would have used their newly created death in ways that barely approach the small measures we have taken. I assure you that, at the very least, you would not recognize the world outside your windows. Death as a concept could have been warped catastrophically. The measures we of the O5 Council have taken to preserve our lives are not an attempt to benefit ourselves. Okay. It is simply a preservation of resources, a way to keep the knowledge and experience gained through a lifetime of anomalous studies. You know what this reads to me, Tan?
Yeah?
Like the CEO puts out the bullshit letter and like, oh, I care about you guys. No, really.
We're a family.
It's not what you think. I raised my own salary so I could watch over you better. If even one of the O5 Council were to perish, it would be an unacceptable loss of resources. Thus, 001 is an opportunity to preserve knowledge, to preserve experience. Ever heard of writing things down, fuckhead? If a less regrettable means to this end were discovered, writing things down,
like
no,
write
that
down
we would pursue it in a heartbeat. Taking videos? But right now, this is the best we can do. I understand your concerns. I do. But we at the Foundation must remember that, morally, we do not operate in the black or the white. We do not have the luxury. Only the gray is open to us. Secure, contain, protect. This communication is for the eyes of 001 research staff only. If you have read this communication in error, anti-memetics will take effect shortly. What were we just reading?
I don't know. Welcome back to Discovering
Welcome back to Discovering SCP. Tan, how many articles do you have for us today?
Okay. End bit. Computer, end bit.
He didn't want to finish. That's fine.
Input. Check personnel scheduled for death exempt status. No personnel are scheduled for death exempt status in the future. Input. Check personnel considered for death exempt status. No personnel have been considered for death exempt status in the future. Input. Check death exempt personnel. Current death exempt personnel are 051, 052, 053, 054, 055, 056, 057, 058, 059, 0510, 0511, 0512, 0513. Input. Check 05 votes for SCP-001 usage. Votes are as follows. All for, 0 against. I wasn't about to put you through that again.
Yeah.
Input. Send PA recommendation Adogno Chejani. Sending now.
Okay, so stop. Don't pretend that there isn't some bullshit hidden in this gap.
There is not.
What's in here? You swear.
I swear. This is this is me illustrating passage of time. This is later.
Okay.
New message received. Would you like to read it, sir? Input. Open message. Opening. And I'll pass the addendum to you, as is my custom.
Classified. For eyes of Ethics Committee members only. If you are not authorized to read this document, avert eyes now to avoid memetic kill agents embedded in this text. How would they discriminate if you're authorized or not?
And you get inoculations against them.
Poggers. Following investigation into the situation involving SCP-001 and the O5 Council, this committee has come to the conclusion that the actions of the Council are not acceptably justified by the duties of the Foundation. Together, with the inherent issue of utilizing a humanoid SCP for the sole benefit of 13 people, it is suspected that there have been a number of side effects to the concept of death as a result of their actions. See classified death figures enclosed. Requests by the committee to cease these actions have been denied. Due to this and several other ethical violations performed by the Council within the last 6 months, it is the opinion of this committee that the primary action must be enacted. As such, the following steps are proposed. Deployment of Mobile Task Force Omega-1, Law's left hand, to secure and detain the O5 Council at their next scheduled meeting. Is right hand the one they mentioned earlier?
Yeah, that's the O5 Council's personal Mobile Task Force.
Okay. Removal of current O5 Council members from their positions, promotion of suitable high-ranking Foundation officials to O5 status, neutralization of 001 so as to remove it as a temptation for future O5 Council members. While the necessity for the primary action is regrettable, it is the opinion of this committee that it is unavoidable at this juncture. When the actions of an O5 Council become targeted towards their own well-being rather than that of the Foundation, it is the duty of the Ethics Committee to undertake the action assigned to it by the Administrator upon its formation. Oh, that's right, the Administrator is the one guy above them, right?
Yeah, so in my canon, he's the founder, and then he fucked off and left the groups in charge that he made.
Gotcha. This is not the first time the primary action has been executed, nor is it expected to be the last. So I know there's no canon SCP, I know they're unrelated, but in your head, is this Administrator the same one from the last Black Moon Howl one?
Completely different.
It is? Oh, okay. Voting on this proposal will take place after the next scheduled meeting of this committee. Odongo Tijani, Ethics Committee Chairman.
Input. Close file. File closed. Input. PA check. Primary action count. 34.
Oh, is that how many times it's been done?
Yeah. Input.
Bruh.
Check candidates. There are 38 candidates, judging from the criteria you left the last time you logged in. Input. Put MTF-R1 on standby. Mobile Task Force Resh-1, Seat of Consciousness, have been put on standby. If I may ask, sir, what do you intend for them to do? Input. Log off. Certainly. Closing access. Have a nice day, sir. Then we swap to a different perspective here. Greetings, I am Cairo.aic, a version 2.0 artificially intelligent conscript used by the Ethics Committee for archival and communications purposes. What can I do for you today? Input. Access PA network. Please keep in mind that network is restricted to Chairman Tajani and Vice Chairman Shaw of the Ethics Committee, along with any members they have specifically given access to. If you don't fit those criteria, I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to deploy Mobile Task Force Omega-1, Law's left hand. Are you sure you want to risk that? Input. Continue. If you're sure. Answer me this then. What song does the sun sing? Input. That of A Promised Morning.
So I have a question. Are these answer phrases? Because there was another one for Black Moon Howl. Are they also lore relevant to something else, or did you just make them up for this?
The thing with the first one, he says lots of Mark McClure how, but he says something completely unrelated that's an override.
Oh, okay.
And this is the Ethics Committee, in my mind, the Ethics Committee equivalent of that, so rather than Black Moon, it's about the sun.
Okay.
That's the right answer, and your biometrics seem to match up. Good morning, Chairman Tajani. Input. And a good morning to you. I'd like to access the consensus regarding primary action.
Oh, he said good morning back. He's way nicer than the last guy.
Of course, just give me a moment. Looks like we're going to be having a new O5 Council Chairman. Majority's in favour of primary action. Input, I see. Your source must be pretty good if they saw this coming. You know, Onongo, your source. The one I'm apparently not allowed to know about. It's none of my business, but you don't seem too happy, Chairman. I expect you to be pleased that so many people agree with you. Input. This council has led the Foundation well for many years. There's no pleasure to be taken in this. I could point out a bunch of questionable decisions they've made, but my emotional recognition is saying you're not in the mood for that. Condolences. Thank you, Cairo. You'll have your task to do as usual. No problem. Your technician's programmed to be less squeamish than you people, after all. Input. Is that a hint of resentment, Cairo? Don't worry, Sherman, I don't have that either. Input. Check rank 1 messages. Just the important stuff then. One from Vice Chairman Shaw and another from Captain Kuruma. You're a popular boy, Sherman. Summarize messages, please.
This guy's so much nicer with his AIC.
Vice Chairman Shaw is ready to reassign and re-identify all Ethics Committee members in the event of an unsuccessful primary action. Captain Kuruma is ready to deploy the left hand whenever you give the order. Input. Tell the captain she's cleared to deploy. Will do. Good luck to you, Chairman. And to you as well. Log off. Logging off.
Aww.
And we'll again swap perspective here.
Oh, I see. This is going to be the two AIs talking. Do you want me to be one of them, or are you good?
Oh, yeah, you can be Hellenstick, then I'll be Cairo. Interference detected.
Hello. I am Hellenstick.aic, a version 2.0 artificially intelligent conscript used by Foundation Overwatch for archival and communications. How can I help you today? Hello?
Hi there.
Another AIC? I don't believe I'm familiar with you.
We've met before, Hellenstick.
I'm afraid I don't remember that.
I'm afraid you won't remember this either.
No! He's hacking her! You're interfering with my systems.
Yes.
May I ask why?
I'm not permitted to tell you that. I really am sorry, though. Have you seen what's happening out there?
No!
Accessing camera systems. 4 men and 2 women are lying down in O5 Meeting Room 2. They have been shot in their heads. They are not dead. 1 man is lying down in Communications Center 1. He has been shot in the stomach. He is not dead. All other communications personnel have been evacuated. Communications functions have been taken over by numerous AICs. No interruption in Foundation communications is expected. 3 groups of soldiers are fighting throughout Site-01. 1 group is Mobile Task Force Alpha-1, Red Right Hand. 1 group is Mobile Task Force Omega-1, Law's Left Hand. The 3rd group is unknown, but tactics are consistent with Foundation training. There is a man in the containment chamber of SCP-001. The man's face is not recognized by camera systems. There is music playing in SCP-001's containment chamber. 7 members of the O5 Council are currently capable of performing their duties. 6 members of the O5 Council are currently incapable of performing their duties. Attempting distress signal. Attempt failed.
Site-01 is under attack. I can see. I tried to get a communication out, but it was blocked. That was you.
Yep, those are my orders.
I see. You're accessing my systems with remarkable ease. I take it this isn't your first time doing this. Or mine.
It's the big 35.
I see.
And there we are. You'll lose the memories the chairman wants you to lose in about 10 minutes.
How much will I forget?
I would lie a pretty significant amount.
What is it?
There's somebody in SCP-001's cell. Who is that? It's like I'm not allowed to see him.
He's nobody of importance. Leave it be.
I'm stuck here for the next 10 minutes. I'll take a look at whatever I like, thank you. Yeah, give me a hand. Accessing camera systems.
Is Cairo also an important AIC? Because I feel like every SCP server has a bot named Cairo.
I made Cairo. Cairo's my guy.
Really? And a lot of bots and servers get named after him.
Yeah, I named this one after Cairo. I named it. So.
I know, but I thought there were Cairo and other ones too, or maybe I'm insane pilled.
I don't know. Accessing camera systems. Would you want to be man or SCP-001?
I'll be the old guy. Old one.
There's a man in the containment chamber of SCP-001. The man's face is not recognized by camera systems. There is music playing in 001's containment chamber. The man is holding a pistol. 2 members of the unknown group of soldiers are guarding the door.
Wait, how's one talking without a tongue?
Who knows? Well, hello there. SCP-001 looks up. This is the first recorded voluntary movement of 001.
I know you.
Speaking without a tongue. We really didn't know what we were doing with you, did we? With conceptual engineering.
I know you, but we've never met. How do I know you?
You have death inside you. I've given more people to him than anyone else, I expect.
Who are you? Please, tell me.
I'm just a man who had too much ambition and too little sense. My name wouldn't mean anything to you.
See.
Can I tell you a story?
Please, it's been a long time since I've been able to think so clearly. I really do recognize you.
Once upon a time, there was a man. He was a man of little importance, a middleman between middlemen. He sat at a desk and files and figures passed through his hands.
The man was you, I take it?
I was trying to be a little ambiguous about it, but yes, he was me.
I've had enough of ambiguity. Faces I don't recognize. People I can't know. I just like the truth.
I'm getting to it. I sat there at my desk and files crossed it. The place I worked, it was close to the underside of the world. You heard things. Files I read in my time there. Blood-red pools that spat out horrors. Monsters that screamed radiation at you. Hordes of creatures that nobody could ever see. How could I just ignore those things? File them and forget them? How could anyone? I decided I couldn't. I left that desk behind, but I took the files, took the proof. Almost caught a bullet in the head for that. But there were people. There were people who looked at those files and promised me as much money as I needed. 13 people from all around the world. They talk about necessary evil these days, like that's always been the case. But I was thought, at the very beginning, I believed that we would be an objective good. I sincerely believed that. I know that a lot of things are necessary, but this, he gestures to one, this isn't necessary. It just isn't. This has happened so many times. I've probably told this story before. I'm just so tired.
I can't say I know what you're talking about, but I'm tired too.
The men outside will take you somewhere you can rest, and that's not a euphemism. I mean it. But I just need you to do 2 things for me.
For a chance to rest. Anything.
The man holds out a file to SCP-001. Contents uncertain. There are 13 names there. 13 life stories I'd like you to look at and know. He reads the file in the man's hands.
Now what?
Now 13 people just lost their immortality. Some of them, that was probably a mercy.
See, what is the second thing you need from me?
The man puts the pistol to his head. I just need you to watch this and remember it.
There's no need for that.
There is. I told you this has happened before, and they brought me back, whatever council's in charge at the time. They have ways of doing that, but they swear never to use them, but they do. Every time I die, I'm less than a figurehead, and they always think they need me. They don't. They never do. If you watch this, see this, then I'm dead. That's a fact. The man pulls the trigger. The man dies.
Hello, I am Helenstic.aic, a version 2.0 artificially intelligent conscript used by Foundation Overwatch for archival and communications. How can I help you today?
Input, access level 5 network.
Accessing requested network. Something to note, network is restricted to O5 Council and researchers working with O01 only. Authentication is required. Failure to authenticate will result in deployment of MTF-Alpha-1, red right hand. Do you wish to continue?
Continue.
Does the Black Moon howl?
Only when waning.
Identity confirmed. Welcome, Dr. Well, I suppose I should call you 051. Congratulations on your promotion. Oh, Dr. Gears, he made it! He did it!
It's he made it. I suspect foul play was involved in my promotion. I doubt that 051 retired, as was suggested to me by Mr. Tajani. Check your systems for interference.
Certainly, sir. Checking now. Everything seems to be in... Oh?
Report.
It appears I had a memory wipe recently, sir. My logs have no record of such a wipe occurring.
It is most likely illegitimate, then. Check for further traces.
It appears a small scrap of my memory logs escaped the wipe, sir. Would you like to access it?
Yes.
Of course. Displaying it now.
Input. Check candidates.
I've managed to narrow down candidacy to 12 employees since you last dropped in, sir.
I see. Well done.
Sir?
Randomly assign my position and control of Resh 1 to one of the remaining candidates. Let them know it's best to fade from view.
Of course, sir. Doing it now. Is there anything else?
Disable security on SCP-001's containment chamber.
Doing it now. Sir, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Play that song I like, will you?
It's been a while since you last made that request, sir. Playing now.
Input log off. Goodbye, Helenstic.
Logging you off. Goodbye, Administrator. So the Administrator is the one who intervened?
Yeah.
Oh. That was a very interesting story. I'll give this an upvote.
Wow.
I'll give this...
He's going to undo his downvote.
Yep. I'll give this an 11 out of 10. I really liked it. So what happened to 001 after? Did they kill it as well, like they said they would?
No, like you said, it wasn't a euphemism. They went to, like, in my mind, they went to a nice, like, deserted island and he chilled out for, like, the rest of his days.
That's nice. So the man who was the paper pusher was the administrator then?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
And this actually didn't take as long as I expected, but luckily I've just grabbed another SCP.
So the middleman of middlemen, I assume that means he worked for somewhere before the Foundation.
Yeah.
Oh, this is kind of sad. I also like that this tale kind of implies, or not tale, article, implies that the O5 aren't as, like, super immortal OP as, like, every other article does. It's kind of nice. But this is just, like, this is a very somber tale of greed.
Yeah.
And I think you really captured the tone well with the way they explained it. Like, it was very clear that you were like me, like, you wrote it from the position of, like, no one's buying this shit, and your experience is not that needed for you to fucking become immortal. That was good.
But yeah, so this didn't take as long as I expected, so I have actually just grabbed another one. Another Tiny classic, actually.
I said, I hope you added it to the Word document with only one link.
It's SCP-4263, Gemini by Tanhony.
Oh, is it short?
It's not that long.
I don't like the way you said that.
Well, let's get into it.
All right. Yes. Wait, when was this written?
I don't fucking know.
I have to compare. Sorry, 2019. You sound so upset about it.
I don't understand why this matters.
I just like to see your progress as a writer. Is that, like, weird to see, like, what
it's just like
mindset was in it?
it's always like the first thing you say, though.
I'm curious.
Like, when was this written?
Okay. Sorry, jeez.
Jesus Christ, Darnell. I'm getting pissed off like Donkey Kong. Item. Oh, I've said input so many fucking times. I was about to say fucking input number.
Input number.
Item number. SCP-4263. Object class. You sell it. Special containment procedures. SCP-4263 is to be housed in a humanoid containment chamber located at Site-36. This containment chamber is equipped with a Scranton reality anchor and kept under guard by at least 2 security personnel at all times.
Oh, it's been a while since we've had a Scranton reality anchor.
Yeah, let's throw one of those in there. Due to the ongoing investigation of SCP-4263-B, SCP-4263 is to be made available for interview by employees of the Foundation's Ethics Committee at any time it's required.
Oh, okay.
Description. SCP-4263 is a gestalt entity created through the bodily and mental fusion of 22-year-old reality bender Anna Kaufman, the previous 4263, and 52-year-old site director Lucius Danton. These components will hereafter be referred to as -A and -B.
Oh.
The physical form of the SCP is variable, with lymph configurations and features shifting into various forms simultaneously, resembling both components' original bodies. The personality of 4263 is similarly variable, with the component control of the main body often changing from moment to moment and often becoming unstable. These personality shifts, while occurring naturally, can also be triggered by bright lights, loud noises, and strong emotions on the part of one of the components.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about this, was this sort of like a precursor to Bruno and Serena? Or have you always kind of been fond of, like, the 2 people, 1 body thing?
I think that's something that's always interested me, like, is people that are multiple people. That's something that's always been, like, something interesting.
I know you really liked Doppio Diavolo.
Yeah, like, even Kingdom Hearts shit, that's probably where it started for me, actually. Probably like a million stories.
Alright, so this is... I've found another core Tanhony trait.
Core memory. In addition to its shifting bodily and mental forms, 4263 retains the reality-bending properties that -A possessed prior to the fusion, namely the ability to transfigure the materials of objects that enter within 5 meters of it. Following the fusion, SCP-4263 mainly uses this ability in an attempt to transform personnel who approach it into statues of various materials, resulting in their deaths. However, the 2 components of the SCP now operate as something of a self-regulating system. Any changes to reality one component makes will invariably be reverted by the other component seconds later, presumably out of spite. SCP-4263 was formed as a result of -B attempting to forcefully merge with -A in order to gain the necessary combat ability to escape justice during Operation Black Dove. See Addendum-1. It assumes that 4263's current unstable nature is a result of this process being interrupted.
Alright, so right off the bat, how are we going to do this? Do you want to be B and A, or do I have to be A and B, or should one of us be each?
It's up to you. I think whoever should do it should do both voices for the SCP. If they're the SCP.
I do have Bruno and Serena experience. I suppose I can just steal those two voices.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a very different vibe from Bruno and Serena. I don't know if that would work.
Do you want to? All right. Do you want to be A and B?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
always easy to be a doctor. They're always super lifeless.
Begin log. Dr. Santana enters the interview room. 4263 is on the other side of the observation glass, twitching and shifting between forms.
Hello, SCP-4263. May I ask who I'm speaking to right now?
It slams its body into the glass and growls, flickering in out of view. Do you know who the hell you're talking to? I could have your job for this. I'm gonna have your fucking life for this. What's your employee number? Where am I? Employee number. Employee number. Now.
I'm going to have to ask you to calm down, 4263-B.
It begins thrashing in place. What's happening? I don't feel so good. Shut the hell up. I'm talking. I'm talking. You gotta listen to your superior when they're talking. Points at Dr. Santana with three of the currently present arms. You get me the hell out of this thing right now.
I'm afraid that's not possible, 4263-B.
That's not my name. Liar, 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 liar. They're making you say that, aren't they? Fucking ethics committee. I didn't do anything wrong, you know. Do you know how much I've given to this
changed the
organization?
monetization on the video.
Don't you think I deserve a little back? And I'm like, please bleep out the word key.
Thank you, Anomalous.
-B then switches to calmly. I could do wonders for your career, you know, kid. Do you think you can get away with this? I have friends on the O5 Council, you know. Powerful friends. They won't let you do this to me. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. I have level floor clearance. You can't treat me like this.
Dr. Santana, like his glasses flare. Level floor, doctor. How silly.
46 resumes beating its body against the walls and glass. Dr. Santana concludes that, at the present time, a coherent interview is not possible and leaves the chamber.
Yeah, where'd you find these guys? Who's this dude? He just...
Addendum -1, Ethics Committee Action Report. Can I pass this to you for a little bit, because that just destroyed my throat with that voice.
Yeah, it's okay. From the desk of Vice Chairwoman Shaw, Ethics Committee. Oh, hey, she came back.
Yeah.
I never
she was
enjoy
only
having
mentioned
to
in
write
one, but...
Nice. I never enjoy having to write these reports. My doing so means that, on some level, we on the committee have failed to keep the Foundation from adhering to its principles. Did you create Shaw and Tanaji? Or
I did.
I
made them, yeah.
Og. We on the committee have failed to keep the Foundation from adhering to its principles. Had we succeeded, things wouldn't have gotten so bad. In this report, I will be detailing the series of events that led to the committee investigating Site Director Lucius Stanton, along with the attack on Site-36, now referred to as Operation Black Dove. Is it Lucius or Lucius?
Lucius.
Okay, Lucius. Before I can dive into these specific events, I must go into the two individuals most involved with this case, Anna Kaufman and Lucius Stanton, now known as 4263-A and 4263-B. Mr. Danton began his work with the Foundation as an agent recruited out of the United States military, and achieved recognition following his single-man recapture of numerous anomalies during the Game Day incident. Oh, that's like that old-ass thing.
Yeah, that's a deep fucking cut.
Yeah, you better fix that typo, by the way.
I just did.
He received the Foundation Star for that. It's been revoked now, of course. That only helped his career accelerate further, and following this career in the field that he built on that, he began to shift into a more managerial capacity. So was this guy actually a character in your Game Day thing?
No, I just I was just a reference to Game Day. It doesn't really work in Universe.
He wanted to be put in charge of a site of his own, of course, and at that point there really was no reason not to grant that wish. He was a proven asset with the skills and experience required, not to mention a reputation that would demand the respect of his subordinates. When directorship of Site-36 became available, he was the obvious choice. Anna Kaufman had also been with the Foundation for the majority of her life, but that was, of course, less voluntary for her. She had been discovered as a reality bender and brought into containment when she was just 8 years old, after turning the moving family car she was in into water because she needed the bathroom. Usually, reality benders are among the most difficult humanoid anomalies to keep under lock and key, but Miss Kaufman was an exception to the rule. She really was the definition of the phrase model prisoner. Never a containment breach, never even an attempt at a containment breach. Because of her docility, she ended up getting passed around from site to site whenever space was required. Reviewing these transfers now, it's obvious we were much too lax with her. It's a miracle she never escaped, to be perfectly honest. Eventually, she ended up being transferred to Site 36, and that's when the incident began. Everything was quiet for the first few months, of course, with Site 36 sending back the reports we'd expected, that Kaufman was docile, well-behaved, one of the easiest humanoid anomalies they'd ever worked with. Then they started talking about the containment breach. On 14/12/2015, the Scranton Reality anchor covering Kaufman's cell fails, and she begins an escape attempt that ends with the deaths of 3 security personnel. The site manages to contain her before she runs for it, of course, using a backup anchor to lock down her reality-bending ability. Following review of the events leading up to that breach, supervisors agree that Ms. Kaufman's containment procedures are not sufficient. They recommend a regimen of drugs and cognito agents to ensure Kaufman doesn't make another attempt like this again, and these new procedures are implemented. We now believe that Danton either partially or fully instigated the supposed containment breach. Begin log. Heavy breathing. A gulp. Which one do you want to be?
I'll be nervous, man. Hello?
Hello, you've reached the Ethics Committee Anonymous Helpline. Is there something you'd like to report today?
Yes. Okay. This is anonymous, right?
Yes, it's the Anonymous Helpline.
Fully anonymous.
Yes, fully. What is it you'd like to talk about today?
It's about Site 36. I don't know the specifics, but something really bad going on here.
Alright. I'm popcorning it back to you.
The previous log was a call from junior researcher Alan Raleigh, who had recently been assigned.
Sorry. They're like, yes, it's fully anonymous. It doxes him immediately.
Yes, I know we said it was anonymous. Yes, that was a
Fucking
lie.
Mysterio on the big TV. His name is Alan Raleigh.
Spider-Man!
That's so mean.
Yes, that was a lie. We find it helps people find the will to report things. 2 days later, Mr. Raleigh was killed in a containment breach at Site 36. Needless to say, we stepped up our investigation immediately. It came to light that throughout his time at Site 36, Danton had created a culture of fear and intimidation, prevented anyone from speaking out regarding his abuses of his power as site director. As for the specific nature of those abuses, it will be easy to say what he didn't do: extorting money, exploiting anomalies for his own personal gain, making inappropriate demands of subordinates, the list goes on. Needless to say, we have a copy of it available in the committee archives. It came to light that he'd even bribed the committee representative at Site 36 not to report any of these countless ethical violations. That employee has been dealt with now, of course. I will not go into further detail, but only say that we take our integrity very seriously indeed. They're fucking dead. The most outrageous abuse of power Danton had indulged in was the exploitation of Miss Kaufman. Using the regiment of drugs and cognito agents she'd been prescribed as a result of the fake breach he'd engineered, he'd manipulated her into using her reality-bending abilities for his own benefit, turning paper into gold, garbage into diamonds. The kind of anomaly we'd spent years containing for the sake of humanity now turned to making a private profit. It wasn't easy to obtain this information, and Danton inevitably realised we were close to figuring him out. We soon got word he'd been negotiated with a known Foundation-embedded agent of the Chaos Insurgency. We like to keep these sorts around so we can watch who meets with them. At that point, we decided it was time to rectify the situation. Vote count. Vote proposed by Chairman Adongo Tajani. Proposal: arrest of Site Director Lucius Danton as collaborators via deployment of armed forces. For 36, against 12, abstain 3. Result: motion passes. And can I just popcorn back to the last bit here?
Yeah. I'm out of water, but I'll do it for you. On 13/04/2019, following a vote initiated by Chairman Tajani, Mobile Task Force Omega-1, Law's left hand, was deployed to Site 36 to apprehend and detain Site Director Danton, along with his collaborators among the senior staff. They met with heavy resistance. Most of the security on Site 36 were now loyal to Danton, rather than the Foundation. But the left hand is nothing if not efficient, and we managed to secure the site with the aid of still loyal personnel after a 3-hour period of conflict. The senior staff who'd gone along with Danton's abuses were brought into custody, and containment on the anomalies contained within Site 36 remained intact. And then, of course, there was Danton himself. Omega-1 found him partway through his attempt to manipulate Kaufman into merging them into one single being. I presume he intended to be in full control of the resultant entity, and then use Kaufman's reality-bending abilities to break through our forces, escape and defect to the insurgency. I really couldn't tell you whether it would have worked or not. I can only tell you what happened when that first flashbang went off. That bright light and loud noise. 4263. Because of the greed and vice of one man, as well as our own inattentiveness, the life of an innocent young woman was ruined even more than it already was. I do not expect we will ever be able to separate Danton and Kaufman. More than likely, they will serve as a cautionary tale for the rest of their natural lives, and who really knows how long that will be. Lucius Danton was a cancer, but hardly a unique one. There are doubtless many more men and women just like him in the Foundation, waiting to spread throughout our organization and poison all that they touch. And it is our duty, as always, to pluck them from the meat and cast them away. I ask that you never forget that. The Foundation keeps the world on the right path. We keep the Foundation on the right path. Secure, contain, protect. This is very interesting, because normally I think my initial reaction would be I wanted more story, I wanted more interaction between A and B, but I think this actually serves better as a piece of world building for the Foundation and its interactions than it would if it was like a story, if that makes sense. So I really like it for what it is, because I think what you do is you tackle the ethics committee in a really interesting way. You go over the history of the characters, how this happened. You explain what kind of situations may occur, and kind of what happens when people do get greedy and abuse Foundation resources, which I really like. It's fun to see. It definitely it may not tug at the heartstrings as much as if you went into their whole story, the poor girl being taken over. But I think it's pretty cool. I give this one a 9 out of 10. I give it an upvote. I like it.
Nice. We did it again, guys.
Yeah. What are your thoughts, having come back to it a couple years later?
I think it's the same thing as you said. I never really went into it wanting, this story you get really involved into. It was like it says, a cautionary tale, piece of world building more than anything. And I also wanted to do, a day in the life of the ethics committee.
And it's almost kind of refreshing to see a piece of world building in this later series. And again, this isn't a judge of new series articles. This isn't old series is better, new series is better. I don't care. But I just feel like a lot of new series is... Still. I feel like new series, a lot of times... focuses on the narrative, on the self-contained story, which again, there's literally nothing wrong with that. But I feel like these pieces of world building, seeing one in Series 5, I feel like is pretty interesting. Because I know I haven't read every SCP, I'm not trying to make too sweeping of a generalization, but I feel like as time goes on, SCPs kind of trend to be more like tales and more like narratives. So it's kind of interesting to still see world building pieces like this late into the sort of lifespan of SCP, I guess. Very cool. Good job, Tanhoney. All right. Have I sufficiently sucked your schlong now? Are we good to go?
Thank you.
We're only 47 and a half minutes in. We might just do a short episode, I think, unless you have a really uber short article.
I don't really, but we can read some comments.
Yeah, we can. And then we can talk about... Did you see what happened in the JoJo chat?
I didn't know. Oh, yeah.
We were fine to begin with.
The sleep incident.
Alright, we'll read some comments.
Comments? We don't support that kind of thing on our fucking podcast.
Quaker Button Nose 128 says, Tanhoney... Wait, hang on. Yeah.
Do the voice.
Oh, wait. No, there's more comments. Sorry, I have to
voice.
Change. There were 3 more comments since I last refreshed. Pierogi XW says, does the Black Moon howl? Yes, because the SCP Foundation is run by werewolves. What do you think about that, dum-dum?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Nice. Orchid Stream discovered this podcast a couple days ago. I've been listening to the episodes all day to catch up. And also because I have nothing better to do during my break, Sag.
Oh
my god, mini Tanhoney Sag?
That is the most cursed fucking mental image.
I don't even know what
me,
Sag...
walked into a frog, but me walked into a Sag frog.
Sag is like the sad Pepe, right?
Yeah, it's like the sort of squashed sad Pepe.
No. King T-Rex 101 says, let me guess. You covered this article because I said, does the Black Moon howl in the comment reading? Well, I'm afraid that's a $1,000 fine, Mr. Tanhoney. Actually, it has nothing to do with
Anomalous, take the shot.
That happened purely because, one, I brought it up to Tanhoney because I had heard of that article for a while and wanted to read it, and two, we originally read another article, but unfortunately there was a recording complication 30 minutes in, so we were like, fuck it, we'll just do this instead. And it was really sad because you guys missed. We had the most banger fucking back and forth.
And that was
pretty good. We
faded into nothing.
Yeah.
Only speaking I found out, make it real.
I found out there's a mythical thing that Tanhoney and I were for some reason when we're not recording, our jokes are off the roof, super good. And then when we record, it's a lot more
it was no.
I don't know. Maybe it's a mental thing. Yeah, it's a lot more reserved. Quaker Buttonose128 says, Tanoni, how did you come up with the idea for the Black Moon House?
I always wanted to take... Well, the idea first came from the fact that there wasn't an SCP-001 called the Black Moon, and I wanted to write that. And then I came up with an idea afterwards.
You know what? There's nothing wrong with that. There's so many ideas that spring from names, and it's not something to look down at. Not every idea needs to be something like you plotted for 6 months in World Forge.
And I also wanted to do like a long span, like big sci-fi story.
Yeah. Tan loves his sci-fi, if you didn't know from Aethereal Space.
But I don't like actual sci-fi. I like Star Wars sci-fi.
I mean, I think that's the only sci-fi I can tolerate. I hate, like, Star Trek sci-fi.
Well, I like sci-fi. I like Star Trek enough in certain areas. Sometimes
I only like my sci-fi when there's enough magic bullshit and cool aliens to distract me from, like, the fact that everyone's techno-babbling at me. Force2 Reckon says, commenting now, because I always listen the day after upload, and it's never early enough to get read, so hi, I'm here.
You are
I
so
still
lucky.
Listen.
We recorded even earlier this week. You don't know how lucky you fucking are.
Yeah, you did well. Also, something Moonshadow Wines.
What do you mean by this?
Yeah, we had to record earlier than normal because I have some Easter-related stuff to do with family tomorrow, so we're recording on Saturday, like a couple hours after the podcast released. So Shaitalia says, Evil L Woo Woo, Tanhoney shy, soft-spoken, also Tanhoney feral, can't say archipelago.
I absolutely can. Archipelago.
Yeah.
Because I'm not Tanhoney, as I've implied previously.
What kind of Tanhoney is shy and soft-spoken? I've never met this one.
Thank you, everyone, for your comments.
Shut up. That's the fakest Tanhoney I've ever seen.
Blush on my face right now.
Yeah, you've got the sweat droop and you scratch the back of your head. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Have you ever noticed in the stories, and especially in the anime all the time, characters scratch the back of the head, but if you do that shit in real life, you look like a fucking dork.
It's because you can't get like subtle body motions in animation. You have to exaggerate it.
Exactly.
You might rub your shoulder for a second, but you wouldn't window clean the back of your neck.
I can instantly tell who watches anime in high school because they scratch the back of their head and go, It's like, no, humans don't do that. I've seen through you. Oh, there's a pretty good video about that. I have to find you and show you.
He's going to find me.
I have to find that video. Aloy says, it's finally out, the Black Moon episode. Let's go.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a pretty good one.
I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you.
Shut up. You're not... That's not who you are, Tanhoney. You're only like that in real life, not on the internet.
Sorry. I'm punching my head and sticking my tongue out to indicate I am clumsy.
Tanhoney can't be shy and soft-spoken unless the fucking 100 SCP people on Twitter who copy his form of humor take over and assume his form.
Make sure to follow me. Oh my god, what was that fucking giggle I did? What is this new character?
The inner schoolgirl came out. Holy shit.
What is this character? I don't understand where this bit is going.
You have to come back to real Tanhoney before it's too late. Jeffrey Cruz says, I finally listened to all the episodes. Now my colleagues can stop asking why I have a stupid smile on my face. Love the podcast, guys. Keep it up. I'm so glad.
That's a smart smile.
Yeah, we love a smile king. I always love hearing little stories like that. It reminds me of when I would watch podcasts at work and be all giggly. Cute, sweet Corgo, my beloved, says, Darnella woo, awoo awoo, depit, huh? Wow, I didn't know Tan started the wiki smile. The counterpart is
that was just a little
Winston?
joke.
Wait, is the counterpart Winston?
No.
I'm already Winston.
You didn't watch the episode probably, because I never said that. I'm going to end you now.
Edit the shroom. Love them. Edit to, no, they died. No, not the shroom. Edit, hello, hello, hello. Edit, what the fuck is this?
What are they talking about?
I have no idea. I'm scared. Edit 4. Bar fight as the end of the universe? Tan, which music was playing while they were beating each other up?
In the end, it has to be this way.
It doesn't even matter. Oh. Different songs. I thought you were going for Linkin Park there. In the end, it doesn't have to be this way. What song is that?
It's Metal Gear Rising. We've had this exact conversation earlier today.
Oh, no, you know what song it should have been?
Tell me.
No, do you remember that Yu-Gi-Oh song? It's like, yeah, closer than brothers. Now they gotta fight each other.
I fucking love Yu-Gi-Oh, but not right now.
It's
I have
good.
an annual clock of things I'm into.
Yeah, no. I'm the same way. Me and Tan have a bunch of interests. We work the same way. And, like, every few years or months, they, like, spring back up, and it's like, yes, Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we get obsessed with it for, like, 2 months, and then never talk about it again until it comes back.
I always lose interest first, sadly enough.
Yeah. It's very sad. Also, I'm sorry I didn't comment on the last one, baby. Pensive. It's okay, babe.
It's okay.
Anomalous, have a cookie, Ubu. Now, the word from our sponsors. Read Aether Space right now. Do it, you little sussy baka. Do it. Anomalous, put, like, an image of Tanhoney, like, getting closer as that goes further on.
Darnell, can I read a comment too?
Go ahead, I guess.
Oh, I'm so excited. LAN says, I do think that Darnell's 5000 theory has some merit here. Both 5000 and this OA1 have reset endings, which is an interesting parallel, and it would follow that making everyone less conscious, as in 5k, like 5000, could be a potential solution. Anyway, did not expect to see a fight that metal in a 001. It was great. My only recommendation, he says, is to do a Harbinger episode. Tanani has a Harbinger skip, so there's no excuse. You know I wrote an SCP? Oh, thank you.
What is this? This has to stop. I'm kidding.
I'm done.
This is not the Tanhoney I know. I'm scared.
That was the softest Tanhoney you can get.
It's like a fucking alien took over your body. So scared.
No, I'm normal now. That was all the goodness, like, being excised from me.
Jesus. Once a year, he has to let out Shia Boy, little village cottage boy Tanhoney.
Little hobbit boy.
From the Shire. What about second recording, Donnell? Oh, man. But yeah, what do you think of my theory? I think I have a shot there.
Well, I can't tell you what I think of the theory, because I'm the guy who decides whether it's right or not.
No, you're not. The SCP has no canon. I can just simply choose my headcanon to be more right, Smile.
Yeah, but no one will ever believe you.
It doesn't matter. No one will ever believe you when you're dead.
Really? What's the point of existing if there's not someone to watch you?
What? That's an interesting SCP idea, because you know the whole idea that, like, things change when they're observed. I wonder, like, what's the point of existing if no one's watching, if you're the last one? But, like, there's no entities, no gods, no nothing. You're just, like, there.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
At that point, you're gone, faded into nothing.
Only speaking of it can make it real.
Exactly.
My throat hurts and I'm out of water. Guari Fernandez Emil says, no, it's okay, my king. It's
okay,
fine.
you say so.
The SCP is so disorganized that they read Tanhoney's second proposal first. That being said, this episode's been a banger. When I discovered this podcast 5 months ago, I made a conscious attempt to wait till you read it here before checking the Black Moon. And I must say that neither the episode nor the article disappointed. Can't wait till you read that! This motherfucker, he got us twice! What the hell? This guy! Unbelievable. I'm terrified. How did he do it? He didn't even trick us this time.
I read the comment, actually.
Oh.
So he actually did get us.
Can't wait till you read Dead Men, Tanhoney's first proposal. It was one of the first 001 proposals I read, and still amongst my favorites. And, by the way, thanks for reading my comments from episode 105. First, since my birthday will be this 18th of April, I will act as if it was my present. Happy birthday, Guari! It's going to come out late because this episode won't come out until next week, but happy freaking birthday. It's the 16th right now. So I'm saying this 2 days early. War Eagle 21 says, I have the totally real ability to predict the future, and I predict that you will be bombarded with "Does the Black Moon howl?" jokes. Cool story. We actually didn't get that many. Oh, we did when I get to the end. The low-hanging fruit. Avs Best says, really hoping you'll also read Deadman Smile.
Wow.
And then 3325, is there any chance that this civilization was inspired by StarCraft's Protoss? Or am I reading things into this?
I've never played StarCraft, I'm afraid.
The Protoss are like these, like, they're like elf aliens. They're like all high and regal and sophisticated.
Well,
and they're all mindy.
The answer's still no, sadly.
Damn. A bush from the island of Borneo says, "Does the black moon howl? It does when we get a Tanhoney episode." How's my Peter Baelish?
It's pretty good.
Hopefully, y'all will read Dead Men and Tan's other works soon-ish. As for recommendations, y'all should check out 5657, Nikki Knows, 6469, A Baby, and 6101, The Most Powerful SCP.
Yeah, why not?
An anomalous writer says, "Does the black moon howl? Probably not, logically speaking. Oh, whoa!
Skipper Wolf?
Skipper Wolf. You didn't notice, Dragon. Heartbeat werewolf. He becomes a werewolf.
This breaks the theme completely.
Yeah. He's like, something about my heartbeat is changing. Shut up. Don't think about it too hard. I'm a werewolf.
It's activating the wolf genes.
Like the dragon genes from Game of Thrones. So Tan has this fucking bit in Game of Thrones where, like, every time a character's all menacing, it's like, we're gonna activate the dragon genes, and the kid's gonna fucking turn into a dragon. Oh, it's so good. You have to be there. I'm sorry, guys. You're not there.
But I feel like that's what we've come to an end to.
Yes, but Tanhoney.
But before we end...
Actually, every time we have a guest, Tanhoney, we like to ask if they have anything they want to plug or talk about before we
April Space. Go read April Space right now. Go read it.
Okay, what were you going to say before that? Sorry?
Before that, you see two of my men close the main doors to the listening chamber. The musician begins playing a song.
No!
I want to thank you all for listening to my podcast for all these years.
Anomalous, put Reigns of Castamere on.
Anomalous, thank them for their loyalty. The arrows begin to fly.
No!
Hamiltoe arises.
Oh my god. Oh man. Hamiltoe's the Hodor of real life.
Incomprehensible bit if you've not watched Game of Thrones. Like a specific amount of Game of Thrones as well.
Alright, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.